Hey there, I'm doing a walk around of this 1967 Honda CB77 Superhawk. That's a 305cc engine. It's undergone a full frame-up nut and bolt restoration. It's a numbers matching bike in the Honda terms of it. You know, the engine number and the frame number don't exactly match, but they're very, very close, which means that this is the engine that was that came in the bike originally. So when I do a restoration, I've done, this was the fifth Superhawk I've done. I've also done about 8 160s and probably 25 bikes in the last 7 years or so. So I just have a process I go through. I mean, all the steel parts get blasted back to bare metal. Any cracks that formed because of stress and vibration get welded up, and any dents get massaged out, and minimal body filler used to smooth those over. And then there's a heavy build primer, then guide coat and block sanding, more primer, and then finally a sealer color that matches the paint color. So in this case, it would be a blue sealer, and then a good match for the Honda Royal Blue, which I found on a Honda Twins forum. It's called Mariner Blue. It was a GM truck color back in the 50s, but it ends up being a really nice match for these for this Royal Blue. And the silver is it's actually called Honda in America Cloud Silver. I get it from my paint jobber store, and it's a nice metallic silver. All of this is single stage, similar to what would have come on the bike back in '63. The engine, and all the aluminum parts, in fact, most every part gets vapor blasted, because it will bring the aluminum back to the original finish, gets rid of all that oxidation, and then some of the aluminum, some of the parts of the engine are painted, like the side covers. Some of it are polished. You see here we have the points cover is polished, the alternator cover is polished, but that kicker cover has been painted silver. Well, but then the head and the case itself have been left raw, aluminum that's again, like I said, vapor blasted. There are some reproduction parts on the bike. The rubber, for example, I believe the air cleaner tubes, the foot pegs, for example. There's a really fine. It's Klaus Studios makes really fine reproduction rubber parts for this model. I use as many Honda OEM parts as I can on the restorations. You always check to see what Honda still sells, but you have to be careful that you can't buy nuts and bolts because they have markings on the head that wouldn't have been there. You'll notice that I reuse the original nuts and bolts wherever possible, and I'll vapor blast them to get rid of the rust and dirt on them, and then I'll zinc plate them again. So using a Caswell zinc plating kit. So the nuts and bolts, is in most cases, these are original nuts and bolts that came off the bike, or they're from other 60s bikes, that I have in my parts pile. The tires are the correct sizes. They're got Chen Sheng on the back. It's an 300 by 18, and the front we've got a 275 by 18. In the correct, we have a rib tread pattern up front, and we have the block tread pattern in the back. So all the details are here that you would expect. We've got the trim on the seat. We've got the you've got the logo on the back. We've got the mud flap. Let's see what else to discuss here. She's a beauty. We got the mirrors. We've got the correct speedometer for this year, because they were different. The drive was different sometimes. The drive either spun clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on how these dials went. There's been a lot of parts re-chromed on the bike. For example, these fork seal holders were re-chromed. The little trim rings here, the headlight bezel, the tank side panels, like the rear shock lower covers were re-chromed. Let's see. You know, we've got the horn down here. We've got the steering dampers all set up to work properly. Brand new, you know, brand new everything. It's a brand new bike. You know, the engine fully rebuilt, all new gaskets and oil seals. I believe it was bored to second oversize, which is half a millimeter bigger than original. So you know, the cylinders, that's the only part that I have to farm out. The cylinders went to the machine shop along with the pistons, and they were bored to match, and then the engine was put back together. New chain, new tires. You can see also we've got the little Honda, manufactured in Japan decal that would have been there. The mufflers are original, Honda mufflers. They're the one-piece later style mufflers. This is a 67, so you notice you got the silver lower fork cover or lower fork pieces there instead of being body color that we would have found on an earlier model. So these are one piece. In other words, the header pipe is more or less firmly attached to the muffler. The mufflers are not bad. There's no real glaring dents in them. There is some pitting, a little bit of pitting that's going on there. They have the correct baffles installed in them. This side is a little bit worse with the pitting, and there is a little bit of a dent there, but they are the correct mufflers that would have come. A lot of times you'll see these bikes will have the aftermarket some reproduction header pipes that have an odd kink where there shouldn't be one. These have the flowing all the way through. So, well, let's go ahead and start her up. Grab the key in my pocket here, and we'll turn on the gas and give it about half to 3/4 choke, and then we'll just press the electric start button. We'll turn the key on first. You can see, it's hard to see out here, but the neutral indicator light is on. These are a little cold-blooded by nature. There's a companion video that shows the bike, me riding the bike up and down the block here. So I'm going to also pull it in the shade of my garage, the darkness of my garage, and then we'll show all the electrical stuff working. So we'll come back with another video for that. Thanks for watching.